Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your tarot card reading for September 2023. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. So these tarot card readings you can watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on whichever resonates with you the most. If you are here for love specifically, you are also welcome to check out your Venus sign as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your September 2023 tarot card reading. So let's go ahead and get started here with a card from my intuitive deck. So what is it that Capricorn needs to know here? Like that one. Okay. I'm just seeing a lot of different things. A lot of different things. And I think that's just kind of the vibe of Virgo season in general. There's just a lot of different things going on. There's a lot of activity, a lot of movement, a lot of change, a lot of decisions, a lot of choices, and maybe this isn't really about having a super clear understanding, but rather, when I say understanding, I mean like of the big picture. Maybe it's a little bit more about having a super clear understanding of what you need to do today, right? And keep it kind of on that daily level. Waking up, making good choices throughout the day, and ending the day on a high note, just looking back and saying, yeah, I really did, I gave myself what I needed. We're all going to have different needs, right? But I gave myself what I needed. With the ninth house activated, Sun and Mercury retrograde in Virgo, there is this quality of faith that comes through as well. And right now you might be operating in a little bit more faith rather than control. The control you have is on the daily level. The faith is on the grand scale of the ultimate life that you're hoping for. It just may not feel very structured right now. It may not feel like it's getting you anywhere. It may feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels a little. But this is where the faith comes in. That even though you feel compartmentalized, you feel like you're spread thin, you feel like you're doing a million things in a million different places, it's all ultimately going to come together. And I feel like over the next several months, even like between now, we have like that straight shot, right? Between Virgo to Capricorn, earth to earth. So between Virgo season and Capricorn season, a lot of things are going to start to come together. A lot of things are going to start to formulate, and a lot of things are going to start to make more and more sense. When we hit Capricorn season, right, your own season, when we hit that, I think you're going to have a very clear strategy or a very clear idea of what needs to be done. Maybe you're just a little bit in a foundation setting mode, which maybe you didn't really think that's where you were. You're like, I already thought I set up a foundation. I already thought I had that strength. I thought I had the knowledge and everything that I need. But there does seem to be just too much stuff happening. There's too many adjustments, too many fluctuations here with this card. So don't worry. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or anything like that. It's just that the bigger pieces of the puzzle haven't come together yet, and that they will over time. The next several months are very much going to be about eliminating things. So that's maybe where a part of your focus can be, is eliminating things that really don't serve you anymore and releasing a lot of things. Okay, we have this, beautiful, moth spirit, surrender now, which is closely related to having faith. To have faith, you don't have to have control over everything right now. And it's probably going to be in your best interest to try not to exert yourself too much. There is a current, right? You're being taken on a current right now. Now, you keep yourself going in that current by your daily choices, continuing to focus on your goals the way you always do, the way you always have been. But if new things come, or if people interrupt, or if there are system breakdowns, or whatever the case is, it's really just about rolling with it and be like, all right, well, it's not about viewing everything as a problem or an issue or an obstacle, because it's just simply not. There's probably some kind of divine timing thing at play or whatever. This is one of those instances where you can, whatever circumstance you're in, you can look at it and say, well, it just kind of had to be this way. And I don't really know why, but it just had to be this way. And if you can have that mindset, you probably won't be very stressed at all. You won't be stressed, and you're not going to be thinking too much about the past, and you're not going to be thinking too much about the future. You're just going to be very present. And maybe that's really all you need right now. Okay. So in the environment, oh my gosh, surrender to the divine. Well, there you go. We're getting a lot of that right now. Just surrender, let go, release, unclench, if you will, unclench, and just let life be life. Let it be what it needs to be. And actually, it might be a really good month if you do that. You can find moments of happiness and moments of peace, moments of gratitude and compassion. There can be a lot of mercy, right, where you offer forgiveness and mercy to other people, thereby freeing yourself up. It just feels like a breath of fresh air. And I think Pluto in your sign, and I know he's going to be back in Capricorn again next year. He's going back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn a couple different times. He really is wanting to close out this chapter really, really well. The fact that he's dipping back in twice says that he doesn't want any loose ends. And over the last 15 years, when Pluto came into Capricorn in 2008, there was just a lot of stuff that happened. And it was hard stuff, and it was, traumatic stuff, and it was character building stuff. But I think it is time for us to release who we had to become to survive all of that, who we had to become to make it through, and allow ourselves to be reborn in a new, lighter, less heavy kind of way. I don't think the Pluto in Aquarius chapter is going to be so heavy as Pluto in Capricorn. I mean, it's going to have its stuff, it's still Pluto, but it's just not going to be as heavy. So I feel like this is an opportunity for Capricorn to lift themselves up. And that can happen in so many ways. It can be spiritually, it can be financially, it can be just in terms of your healing, all of it. Beautiful. Ace of Cups, Sun, and a King of Cups. I feel like you're the King of Cups coming through. I may change the tune when I pull out the clarifiers, but we'll see. But as it stands, I feel this is an aspect of you. You feel secure. Now, it is a highly fluctuating time. You're going to hear me say that a billion times. And I see that with the water around the King of Cups being kind of tumultuous, but yet he still remains steady and sturdy. He remains steady and sturdy within himself. He remains grounded and rooted to truth and spirit. And because of that, he is unwavering. He within himself. So this is not about trying to control circumstances so much as it is about trying to control yourself. And when I say control yourself, it's, are you going to worry about it today or not? Are you going to do something about it today or not? Are you going to talk about it? Are you going to have that conversation today or not? And if it's something that's in your best interest, are you going to have the courage and the power to really do it? I love the Ace of Cups because it does seem like a beacon of hope. It seems like a beacon of something beautiful and wonderful, of fulfillment and joy. And even with the Sun card, there's something really brilliant coming through from Capricorn right now. Maybe there's a sense of excitement or a sense of enthusiasm on something that you're working on. This may actually be one of the reasons why there is so much kind of stuff all over the place, because you might be going a little bit more based on how you feel, which can be a bad thing. It can be a good thing depending on how you really do it, but sometimes we just need those moments where I really don't feel like doing this. And I'd really rather be doing that. And when I say that, I don't mean like completely like don't go to work or anything, but it's more about following your passion, following the excitement, and doing the things that make you really, really happy. Even if you can only carve out a few minutes or a couple hours a day or whatever the case is, but make sure you prioritize that to some degree, because that's going to put you in a really good state of mind, a really good state of being. And that is a place where you can more easily surrender. Because if you're in a situation that you're dragging your feet, you're in a state of dread or something, chances are you may feel a higher desire to control it or something like that. And that puts you in a state of resistance, and that resistance kind of closes your eyes and ears a little bit. So the sun is a really open channel. It's open and it is self-expressive. It does have a masculine quality to it, but because it's so connected with the light, it also is aligned with truth, which does have a sort of receptive quality too. So this just feels connected to me. So hopefully you can find something that makes you feel that way, something that puts you in a state of flow. Where you can sit down, it feels like 5 minutes, but it's actually 5 hours. I often say that's something that takes you out of time. Doing the things that take you out of time, where you don't even think to look at the clock because you're so engaged with what you're doing. Those types of activities are highly recommended, as much as you can, as often as you can. As long as, you're still surviving and doing what needs to be done with regular life too. Okay? It's interesting how sometimes doing those types of activities, I don't know, it kind of takes the sting away from all of the fluctuation. It makes everything seem more manageable, because when you're happy, you're like, oh, okay, all right, well, let it be that way then. Fine. I'll just, approach it with a good attitude, and that's it. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Nothing has to be a big deal. All right. See, and this is exactly why. I'm actually really happy we got some of these cards, because it gives us nice contrast. Because there are probably things you don't want to deal with. There are things you don't want to think about, things you don't want to look at. 5 of Cups. This often brings a sense of sorrow or grief, sadness, regret, something from the past that's kind of holding you back or pulling you back. It's a memory of something you can't really do anything about. This is healing. The Sun, the Ace of Cups, it's healing qualities. Now, Virgo, okay, on the Virgo-Pisces axis in the Zodiac is what I call the healer's axis. We have the spiritual healing over in Pisces. We have the physical healing with Virgo, but it kind of meshes in together, right? They're kind of one and of the same. So it makes sense that there is a healing process going on. And it's not a healing process where you have to sit down and do all your dark shadow work and you have to pull out repressed memories. Like, you don't have to do all of that. Focusing on the light, focusing on those things where you feel that flow and you feel that fulfillment, and focusing on, the brilliant aspects of life, that in and of itself is going to be healing. Okay? Action right now really is the healing mechanism. 5 of Coins, scarcity, lack, feeling broken. Maybe there's a physical illness that you may be dealing with as well. Maybe there are some difficult relationships. Sometimes we find ourselves in, this can be highly loyal, okay? We have a sense of loyalty with someone, but it's also like, are we being loyal to the right people? Because are these people enabling our growth, or are they enabling our stationary state? This is not a card of growth. If you have certain relationships and people to whom you have remained loyal, but they do not encourage growth or positivity or happiness or self-improvement or anything that's good, and they just kind of want everything to stay the same. This is probably one of the relationships that's going to fall off over the next couple of years. And it may be accentuated right now because you probably genuinely want to be here in the sunlight in the Ace of Cups. You want to be there, but someone may have a problem with it, or someone may be trying to keep you back, or someone might be feeling a little bit desperate and kind of guilting you into doing something for them. Whatever the case may be, but it is a broken relationship. Loyal, probably, but broken, yes. It's not really healthy. It seems codependent to me. Now, that will not apply to all of you, okay? But if you are in a codependent relationship like that, this is an opportunity to get out. Because I don't think it's really where you want to be. You know, it's not really what you want. And the contrast here is so important. The Ace of Cups with the Sun versus Five of Cups with the Five of Coins. This scenario sucks. Okay, this scenario does not feel good. It makes you feel kind of crappy. It kind of gives the dark looming cloud over everything. It takes away hope. Where this does the complete opposite. It gives you hope, and it gives you positivity, and it gives you a sense of purpose and motivation and inspiration. So this is going to be, a conversation that you're going to have with yourself a little bit. If you're truly surrendered, you are going to gravitate toward the Sun because you can't not. Because the Sun is so high gravity. It really is. It's such a high degree of gravity. You cannot really avoid it. You're caught in the orbit now. If you're surrendered, you're going to just get sucked right in. All right. But if you're not surrendered and you're trying to keep certain things intact, it's going to feel like you're at a war with yourself. And I know that's not what Capricorn really wants. For some reason, difficult relationships are being accentuated right now. Okay? I like the Knight of Cups because he's walking away from all of that. And that's probably another aspect of you. Okay, it's the mobile and flexible and agile part of you, and the part of you that really follows your heart. There's a lot of following your heart right now, Capricorn. You're going to know exactly what that is too. I don't think it's going to take all this soul searching, right? Because Venus in the 8th house, Venus retrograde. Now she won't be retrograde for September. She'll be moving direct most of it. Okay, she officially stations direct on September 3rd. So for all of September, she'll be in like her post-shadow phase, but she will be moving direct. But there's still a large emphasis on what we value most. And I know for a fact that Capricorn doesn't really value this other than the lessons and the wisdom that gets extracted. But the circumstances themselves that don't serve you, clearly you don't value them. And in a way, I'm wondering, do you truly value that relationship too? Or are you only there because it's something that's been long-standing? You know? If it's only been something that's been long-standing, this is probably going to be the time that you're going to let your heart drift away. Okay? And you're going to find some degree of freedom. You're going to find some degree of liberation from that, because that's what happens when you surrender to the divine. The divine takes over and it finds a way to separate people of different vibrations and different desires and different values. And what's so crazy, I keep looking at this King of Cups and I keep thinking about all this stuff that's going on around him and yet how sturdy he is. And I know this sounds a little cold-hearted, and I know you're not a cold-hearted person, but I almost feel more a sense of relief than anything. And it's not that you don't care about the other people in your life, but if it is something unhealthy or codependent or a little too much, right? even if that other person gets their feelings hurt, I think you're still going to feel good about it. Not about hurting them, but good about the separation and good about the distancing. You're going to feel good about the way your life is going. And I don't think you're going to harbor any guilt for that. It's just a matter of like two people who are growing at different rates, two people who are wanting different things at different times. And it just, it's a depleting place to be. And I don't think Capricorn needs to be depleted right now. It needs to be inflated. And that's what the Sun and the Ace of Cups is trying to do, is trying to get Capricorn to align with love and passion and creativity and self-expression and all these really wonderful things. And Jupiter in the 5th house, by the way, Jupiter retrograde in the 5th is going to have a lot to do with that. Yeah, more contrast there. Okay, so I saw these two, so we'll pull these two. Okay. Not surprised by the 9 of Swords, because it can, this whole thing can be stressful, but again, I don't think you have to be stressed, Capricorn. I think stressed is a choice, and that comes through the control aspect. Stressed because you want it to be a certain way, or stressed because you want a certain outcome, stressed because maybe you do have a lot of things going on and you don't really know like how much to give here, how much to give there, and you're feeling torn in half, all that kind of stuff. But another king comes out and it really says, you don't have to take control of the circumstances, but you have control of yourself. That's the important thing, having control of yourself. And Virgo, by the way, I always say it's the sign of self-mastery. It's not about anything else. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. That's why it's like the Hermit card in the tarot, right? It's your internal awareness, your emotional state, your being, your choices, your behavior, your words. That's how you have control. And the King of Wands, I don't know, seems up for the challenge. So does the King of Cups. It's like, let's see if I can really be the person that I say I want to be. Let me see if I can be that courageous person that I always think that I am. Let me see if I can actually practice what I preach, Now, the Hanged Man does suggest delays, hands tied behind your back, but this is so perfect for surrender now and surrender to the divine, because this is also a highly surrendered card. Your hands are tied. There's so much that you can't do things about. And I think the universe is specifically, or your higher self, if you will, is specifically putting you in this debilitated state to kind of get you to let life change, to get you to let life evolve. That's this beautiful thing for a Virgo season. All the mutable seasons, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Sag, it's such a good time to just let life swirl and whirl around you while you remain grounded and rooted in your truth, in your being. A lot of wisdom can come through doing that too. There's a lot of exposure. People tend to tell on themselves. They tend to show you their true colors. They tend to, illuminate things that can help you make better decisions later on. If you're sitting here and have all these questions right now, I would say redirect your focus on your kind of the things that take you out of time. That's the best way I can describe it, because we all have our own little things. For some of you, it is actually work. You love being busy, you love doing that type of thing. Others of you, maybe it's your art or your craft or your hobby or something like that. But focusing on those things kind of empties out your mind a little. It empties out your mind, and through those moments, you can have incredible epiphanies. And that's, I think, with the halo around that Hanged Man's head, there is a quality of attaining higher wisdom and coming into higher consciousness. This stuff right here is lower consciousness, and I think it's going to make you feel trapped, which is why there is this whole, I want to be free, I want liberation, all of that. But dedicating more time here can bring you into that higher state of consciousness and kind of give you more clarity in terms of what you can and should do. So there's a beautiful shift. It feels soft. This can get irritating, but it still feels soft nonetheless. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more information that comes through. So for those of you who are new, the cards I'm about to pull out, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. And we're going to talk about them in the comprehensive reading. So if you want to join, the link is in the description box. So let's see for, wow, beautiful. 3 major arcana came out for this Surrender Now card over here. This is what the universe needs from you. So for the environment, what's going on environmentally, external from you, Judgment, Hermit, 2 of Swords. A lot of major arcana, actually, which can suggest just kind of some big, kind of feel like billboards on the side of the freeway, you know, just like huge, wave you down, hey, pay attention to me type of stuff. All right, so let's take a look at the Ace of Cups. What is it that Capricorn needs to know about the Ace of Cups? 2 of Coins. Another Chariot card with the 6 of Swords. Loving the Chariot for you. 4 of Cups. Ace of Wands. Ooh, I like that. 5 of Wands. Yeah, the Sun is not going to make everyone so happy. Beautiful Magician. And there you are, aligned with your truth. The Hierophant card. 5 of Cups. Okay, not surprising with the 3 of Swords. 9 of Coins. Wheel of Fortune. We have the Fool. Another Emperor. Tower. Not surprised by that either. Knight of Cups. Queen of Swords. Another Ace of Cups and a 4 of Coins. Another King of Cups here. 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. Seven of Swords, 10 of Coins, and Strength. Page of Coins, 5 of Cups, Page of Wands. All right, so this is where we're going to pick up. Definitely a lot more coming through. So again, if you want to join, all that is in the description box down below. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love and adore you. Have a great month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.